Have you ever noticed how easy it is to tell yourself you're stuck when really you're just uncomfortable? I've been thinking a lot about that lately because discomfort has a way of making us question ourselves. It can make us think we're failing. It can make us think we're doing it wrong, or it can make us pull back before anything has had a chance to grow. But discomfort is not always a stop sign. Sometimes it is simply the feeling of being stretched. So, in this video, I want to help you tell the difference between being truly stuck and simply being uncomfortable in growth. Because once you can tell the difference, it becomes easier to stop spiraling, stop second guessing yourself, and take one brave next step. And here is the difference I want to name. Sometimes you really are stuck and what you need is support, rest, or a new perspective. But sometimes you are not stuck at all. Sometimes you already know the next step. You know the conversation, the boundary, the decision, the truth. What makes it feel like stuck is that the next step asks something uncomfortable of you. It asks you to risk rejection, visibility, uncertainty, change. And that kind of discomfort can feel so intense that we call it stuck. If you keep waiting for growth to feel comfortable, you may stay stuck in the same place for a very long time. We want change, we want clarity, we want energy. We want to feel more like ourselves again, and we want to stop repeating the same patterns. Ultimately, we want to say yes to the life that keeps tugging at us. But the moment life asks us to be brave, honest, visible, or step into uncertainty, it becomes very easy to retreat into what feels familiar. And honestly, of course it does. Our brains are wired to prefer what feels familiar, and uncertainty can feel threatening, even when we're actually safe. So when growth feels uncomfortable, that doesn't always mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes it simply means you are stretching beyond what is known. So we go back to the habits, routines, and the patterns that ask less of us. But over time, comfort can become the very thing that keeps us stuck. Because here's the hard truth. When we avoid discomfort, we call ourselves stuck. But the discomfort doesn't just disappear. It simply changes forms. You can feel the discomfort of growth or the discomfort of staying where you are. You can feel the discomfort of a hard conversation or the discomfort of never saying what you really mean. You can feel the discomfort of trying something new or the discomfort of looking back later and wondering what might have happened if you had simply begun. And once you realize the discomfort exists on both paths, you stop treating comfort like the goal. I often think about this in terms of two spaces: your comfort zone and your stretch zone. Your comfort zone is what you already know. It's familiar, predictable, and well practiced. Your stretch zone is not some giant leap into chaos. It's simply the space just beyond what feels easy. It might be one honest sentence, one boundary, one ask, one decision, one brave next step, because real growth is often quiet. It happens in small moments when you do not shrink back, when you tell the truth, when you stop abandoning yourself, when you take the next step before you feel fully ready. Maybe your stretch zone looks like speaking up in a meeting instead of rehearsing your thoughts in silence. Maybe it looks like telling your partner what you really want instead of hoping they'll guess. Maybe it looks like setting a boundary, applying for an opportunity, pressing publish, asking for help, or admitting to yourself that the life you want is asking something new of you. From the outside, these things may look small, but on the inside, they can feel enormous. Because every time you move toward what matters, while discomfort is also present, you build trust with yourself. When you stay with the manageable discomfort instead of immediately retreating, you help your brain learn that this feeling is survivable. And over time, that is part of how real confidence gets built. And for many of us, that is the missing piece. Not more information, not inspiration, self trust. This is where so many people get tripped up. We think confidence is supposed to come first. We think, once I feel ready, then I'll do the thing. But confidence usually does not come before courage. Confidence grows because of courage. It grows after you speak, after you try, after you stretch, after you survive the wobble, and you realize you're still standing. That is why waiting to feel fully ready can keep you circling the same stuck space. Readiness is built in motion. Clarity is built in motion. Confidence, yep, built in motion as well. So if you are in a season where you feel stuck, here's a simple practice. First, ask, where do I feel stuck right now? And name the area honestly. Second, what discomfort am I trying to avoid? Rejection, failure, disappointing someone, maybe myself, being visible, change, success? Yes, that happens too. It brings discomfort. Third, what is one small stretch I can take today? Not 10 steps, not a full reinvention, just one. And before you do it, say to yourself, I am choosing my stretch zone and I'm willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of the life I want. That small practice can begin to change your relationship with discomfort. Because instead of letting discomfort make every decision for you, you start meeting it with intention. And I also want to say this, you will not do this perfectly. None of us do. There will be days when you retreat, days when you overthink, days when you know the brave next step and still don't take it. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. Growth is rarely neat. It's often messy, wobbly, and full of second guessing, but that does not make it less real. It may actually mean you are closer to meaningful change than you realize. So maybe the question for today is simply this: which discomfort are you willing to choose? The discomfort of staying where you are, or the discomfort of one small brave step toward the life you really want? Don't need to take some giant leap. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stretch a little and trust that courage grows right there. If this spoke to something you've been feeling, stop negotiating with fear and discomfort by asking yourself this: what is one stretch zone step I'm willing to take this week? Name it and claim it. And if you are in a season of becoming, telling the truth, making more room in your life for what you really want, it's not about more hustle or more productivity. It's about choosing more of a beautiful you, because you are truly meant for more. Finally, if this video resonated, subscribe to my channel and then watch this next video where we talk more about courage, clarity, and building a life that turns ordinary days into an extraordinary story. Today is day one.